When I say the terms Call of Duty and grind, there's probably only two things that come to your mind. If you're an OG player, a prestige grind may come to mind, but if you're a player who's been playing in the current era of Call of Duty, a camo grind probably comes to mind, that being Damascus, DM Ultra, Atomic, especially because prestiging in the games of Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard are pretty useless, let's be honest, because at the start of every season, your level gets reset, so you could have went to level 1000 in the previous season, but it doesn't matter. But one thing that does carry over from season to season is that Mastery Camo. And when someone sees a Mastery Camo, whether that's in Warzone or one of the multiplayer experiences, people know that you put in that grind to unlock that camo. Now, what is the hardest mastery camo to unlock? I think I'm pretty qualified to give an answer to that question, considering I've unlocked Damascus twice, I've unlocked Obsidian on a handful of weapons, and I've also unlocked DM Ultra and Dark Aether in Cold War, and Dark Aether and Atomic in Vanguard. However, I'm not gonna lie, at the time that I'm recording this video, I am literally 2 guns off of unlocking Dark Aether. So I have like 97% of the Dark Aether grind done, and so I have like 97% of the experience. Now, just a disclaimer, we're not going to focus on how the camos look in the games and how they look in Warzone. I'm going to do that in a different video once I actually get gameplay together, and I'm going to rank all of the mastery camos based off of how they look and if they're worth the grind, but we're specifically talking about the hardest grind. Hey, Post-Production Wild here. While talking about the hardest camos in Call of Duty history, I forgot to mention that I'm specifically ranking camos after Modern Warfare 2019 because the ones before Modern Warfare are pretty easy to unlock and don't really come close to competition with these mastery camos at all. But if I was to rank them as well, from easiest to hardest, I would go Black Ops 4's Dark Matter camo, and in a 3-way tie, because I pretty much see them all as equal, Modern Warfare Remastered's Exclusion Zone, World War II's Chrome, and Black Ops 3's Dark Matter. And then the hardest camo to unlock before Modern Warfare 2019 would be Infinite Warfare's Dark Sky camo. I also think, for obvious reasons, I'm not including Diamond from Black Ops 2 or Gold from any of the previous Call of Duties because those aren't really mastery camos. Anyway, let's get back to our regular scheduled programming. So now I'm going to rank every single mastery camo grind from easiest to hardest. The easiest camo grind in the most recent 3 Call of Duties by far, without a doubt, is Dark Aether from Cold War. The grind is just so easy to complete. There's no real challenge to it at all. It can get tedious because you are just killing zombies over and over again, but Cold War has some pretty goated strategies to actually get gold on your weapons, or I guess gold Viper, which looks pretty bad if I'm being honest. So the camos don't really start getting good until you complete the Plague Diamond or the Dark Aether within zombies, but it's a PvE game mode. It's super easy to complete weapon challenges and unlock gold Viper for weapons, and then when you pull them all together, it takes about 2 to 3 days of in-game playtime to get Dark Aether, but there's really no challenge when it comes to the camo challenges that you're required to do for every weapon. I think if anything, you'll struggle with the snipers, and that's it. The next hardest camo challenge I'm going to have to say is Vanguard's Dark Aether. Now, I know technically you can get the Dark Aether camo in Vanguard AFK, and I'm not gonna lie, I've done a lot of my camo grind while AFK in Vanguard, but the reason Cold War's Dark Aether is easier than Vanguard's Dark Aether is because Vanguard's camo challenges require you to do more than the Cold War. So for example, in Cold War, you're required to get 2,500 eliminations with every gun, while in Vanguard, you have to do 4,500 eliminations with every gun, on top of every other camo challenge there is in that game. And the thing that makes Dark Aether, even though you can go AFK, I do want to preface that, you can literally unlock the camo while going shopping, as long as you set yourself up with an auto clicker. You still have to play on Duran Fun, and just the fact that Vanguard's zombie experience sucks, it's going to be tedious and almost mind-numbing with this camo grind. And with Cold War zombies, the experience is at least fun, but the fact that Vanguard zombies experience isn't that fun means that the camo grind isn't going to be difficult in terms of the camo challenges, but it's going to be difficult in terms of motivating yourself to do it. And on top of that, the camo doesn't look that good at the end of the day. Getting into the multiplayer camos now, the next hardest mastery grind is going to be DM Ultra. Honestly, out of all three, Atomic, DM Ultra, and Damascus, DM Ultra is by far the easiest, simply because the camo requirements are pretty low. And just like Modern Warfare and Vanguard, in Cold War, you have to level up your weapons to max level to get all the camo challenges done. But the thing is, Cold War, you level up pretty fast, and you can level up in multiple ways too. If you already have Dark Aether, the DM Ultra grind is going to be a lot easier, and vice versa. And that is something that you don't have in Modern Warfare at your disposal. You do have it in Vanguard as well, but Vanguard leveling up just takes so much longer than it does in Cold War. So the fact that you can level up your weapons faster and the camo challenges aren't that hard. There is a couple camo challenges that are a little tedious and monotonous in the game, like the killing enemies behind covers for the assault rifles, and I think you do that for the LMGs and a couple other weapon categories as well. Those camo challenges don't really test you on skill. It's literally just RNG of where the enemies are, and the camo challenges are dependent on the enemies and what they do rather than what you do. The launchers, there are only 2 launchers in that game, and they are pretty easy to complete. And then you have the M79 as well, which you now can replace with the nail gun, and you can do a bunch of camo challenges with DLC weapons that make it a lot easier. And with the camo grinding experience that I've had with the Atomic, Damascus, and DM Ultra grinds, DM Ultra is just by far easier than the Atomic and Damascus camo. Now, the next hardest camo grind is a toss-up between Atomic and DM Ultra. If you're looking at the Atomic grind at launch, I would say it's harder than Damascus. But if you look at Atomic now and all the changes that have been made to the camo challenges, Damascus is definitely a harder grind to complete. So I'm going to put Atomic as the 3rd hardest camo grind in the 3 recent Call of Duties, simply because leveling up takes so long. Now, the camo challenges in Vanguard are a lot easier than the camo challenges you would see in Modern Warfare, but the grind is literally just leveling up your weapons, and you can't do what you did in Cold War and level up your weapons and zombies and then bring them to multiplayer, because if you take a gun into Vanguard at level 0 and try and level it up in zombies, you get barely any XP, so you're better off leveling it up in Warzone or in multiplayer itself. And then at that point, you might as well just do the camo challenges. And the camo challenges are pretty tedious, I'm not gonna lie, especially when you get to the final 3 categories, where some weapons you have to recomplete challenges that you've already finished, like getting 100 headshots with X amount of attachments. But overall, it's not that hard, I would say. For experienced camo grinders, this grind is literally just leveling up your weapons to max, and you will get gold along the way just by leveling it up. And for an unexperienced camo grinder, or for someone that's new to the franchise, this grind will ask a little bit more from you, just because not only are you going to have to get used to leveling up your weapons from weapon level 0 all the way up to 70, but you will also have to get used to some of the camo challenges. Now, the 2nd hardest mastery camo grind within the most recent Call of Duty era, it's gotta be Damascus. See, Damascus is just tedious. You have to level up your weapons to max just to be able to unlock gold. And on top of that, you have really tedious camo challenges like 100 mounted kills, 800 kills with every assault rifle, and you have 4 launchers that have to get gold. See, the thing with Vanguard's launchers is there are 2 launchers that are basically kill-based. The Panzerfaust is a little up in the air if it's a streak-oriented launcher or a infantry-oriented launcher, but you at least have the MK11 in Vanguard that is literally just killing people for its camo challenges. But if you look at Modern Warfare 2019, all 4 launchers have to kill streaks, and a high amount at that. And on top of that, there are 2 launchers that don't lock on. You do have the Joker and the Pila that do lock on to enemy streaks, but with the RPG and the Strela, you do have to get used to the flight paths. I will say, at least you don't have to shoot down any UAVs or enemy streaks with the launcher that shoots like the Panzerfaust. But I honestly think if you had the Panzerfaust in Modern Warfare 2019, you would still be able to shoot down streaks, being the counter UAVs and personal UAVs, because they're just stationary. But it's the frequency that streaks are called in Modern Warfare that make these camo challenges difficult, and it's just a long, tedious grind to get every gun gold in that game. And the hardest camo grind in recent COD history has to be the Obsidian camo grind. Now, if you look at Obsidian for a single weapon, it's actually not that hard to get, and then all you have to do in however many games it requires you get 15 kills in a single game, however many times, and you get Obsidian camo. But if you're trying to get Obsidian on every single weapon in the game, not only will you already have to unlock Damascus, but you will have to get thousands of extra kills with every weapon in the game to get Obsidian unlocked, which just goes to show how difficult that camo grind actually is to fully complete, because you have to complete the second most difficult camo grind in recent COD history just to be able to start this grind if you're trying to complete it 100%. Now, I do want to say once again, if you're just getting Obsidian on 1 or 2 guns, it's actually not that hard and is easier than any mastery camo in the game. But if you're getting it for every weapon in the game like Jev did, you're gonna need to book therapy. You're gonna need to take time off work because this grind is crazy. Like for me personally, I only have around 8 guns Obsidian, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm definitely not doing them all because those 8 guns took a lot of time in game to finish. Even with shipment 24/7, it still takes a long time just to get 1 Obsidian. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you agree with my ranking, if you disagree, if you guys have unlocked mastery camos, which ones have you found the most difficult? But with that being said, I hope you guys have a good one, and I'm about to head out. And if there is one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.